Hello, hello, my lovelies. Hope you're all doing well. Please do forgive the state of me today. It's a day off today, and I am actually filming this Sunday morning. We're just after 11 o'clock, so yes, day off today, and hence why hair's up and tracky top. Yeah, we all have to have a day off sometime, don't we? So welcome. If you are new here, if this is the first time that you've come across me, then hello, I'm Mandy, and welcome to this very safe space, or what I hope to be a safe space. And if you've viewed me before, then welcome back. I much appreciate your support. And grab yourself a cuppa or a drink of choice. I mean, this doesn't go up until around 7 o'clock-ish tonight, so if you want a glass of wine, you crack on. Or a beer, whatever. G&T, whatever, tea, coffee, water. For those that are being healthy. I don't drink. Not drunk for just going on 3 years. But I think I mentioned that last week. So, a little bit of a life update today for you. And then we'll quickly touch on a subject. And it will be a quick subject because it's not really something I have done personally, but it's something I'd be happy to get your feedback on. Speaking of feedback, none of you helped me out with dating advice last week. I am so disappointed. I really, really want this to be such a lovely community, and yeah, a little bit disappointed because you've not even kind of pointed me in the right direction, or even given advice that, you know, getting on these sites are okay and that you've had good experiences with it. So yeah, so this week again I'm looking for some feedback from yourselves. As you will see, it's not something that I have really done. But a quick live update. It's been a busy week this week with one thing and another, so I haven't actually got round to making any orders as yet. Well, I'm saying as yet, I've completed quite a lot of orders. But this week has been a busy one, and I've not managed to get to my creation station much this week. I'm saying, well, no, I did get sat there a couple of days writing down orders that had come in. But I've got a couple of weeks now before cut off. I'm making cut off for my orders the Friday the 13th of December. Just because my postman has given me a little bit of a heads up, and he said that if other depots are the same as the depot around here, he'd rather me get things posted out sooner rather than later, especially if my clients have then got to post them on to other people. So yes, I've still got a couple of weeks to go for that yet, which isn't a problem. But this week has been taken up with a few things. Firstly, and most importantly, Christmas tree shopping. Now, I've never had a real Christmas tree before, ever. I don't even remember anyone in my family during childhood having a real Christmas tree. So it's been a real treat for me. And over the years, I've gone from, at one stage, I actually had 5 Christmas trees. Yes, you heard that right. 5 Christmas trees. It is my favourite time of year. I absolutely love it. And the house I lived in before this was basically a 2 up, a 2 down, just a typical terraced house that you find in any town. And I basically just used to put up, I bought myself one of those pencil trees, and I just used to decorate that, pop it in the corner, and yeah, Bob's your uncle and all that. And then when we moved to this property, this is 2 reception rooms, very large kitchen, 3, I am going to say 3 double bedrooms, because even in what people class as the box room, you can actually get a double bed in there. There's not much room to move about, but you can actually get a double bed in there. I would say probably a double bed, a bedside cabinet, yeah, and that would probably be it. So when we moved in here, I got myself another couple of Christmas trees. So I had the pencil tree, which I put in the porch. I had a large tree which went in the lounge, and then I bought myself another Christmas tree that I put up in the dining room, which was actually a dining room at the time when we first moved in. And then a couple of years after we moved in, my mum passed away. So when we were clearing out, I took the Christmas trees, because my stepdad doesn't celebrate Christmas. He doesn't have very fond memories of Christmas. And it hasn't, even us, well, certainly me being a massive Christmas lover, it still hasn't swayed him. So I took those from him, otherwise they would have ended up at the charity shop. So yeah, so then I ended up with Christmas trees in the bedroom, and a little one in the kitchen as well. So yes, it took me sort of a whole week to decorate the house, and then took me 2 or 3 days to take them down too. Yeah. So since the split from me and my ex, I've kind of got rid of them, except for the big one that I used to put up in the lounge. And last year I really wasn't feeling it. My stepdad had basically just come back from Wales. He'd been staying with his auntie for a few years. And he was very, very poorly, and I really wasn't feeling it last Christmas at all. So it was basically, I just put the tree up and I chucked some lights on it, and that was it. There was no other decorations went up whatsoever. But I couldn't not decorate at all, if that makes sense. Anyway, earlier on this year, I had a big massive clear out, and I donated a lot to charity. And I said to them, you may as well take the Christmas stuff. Now I had some of those, the big carry plastic boxes with your clip down lid. Yeah, I had about 5 of those that were just all full of Christmas decorations. So I told them to take the lot, because I really didn't think my stepdad would still be here this Christmas. And I was like, I'll sort that out when I move. And yeah, my stepdad's still here. He's still fighting on. He's not in a very good condition, but he is fighting on. So I had to go and look for a Christmas tree, and I thought, do I really want to go and spend £200 on an artificial one, which then every single year I have to store, or when I do come to move, I've then got to take it with me and find somewhere to put it. So I thought, I'm going to treat myself to a real Christmas tree. And I do apologise, I've just taken like 8 minutes to explain about Christmas trees. So if you're switched off by now, fair enough. It's my channel, I'll talk about what I want. So I wanted to go Christmas tree shopping because I like to get my tree up as close to the 1st of December as I can. So I will I'll move you around and I'll let you have a look. And I'm absolutely over the moon with it because it's such a gorgeous shape. Sorry, you can just see the dog there getting himself comfy. It's such a gorgeous shape. It smells amazing. They are a little bit more challenging to decorate than a artificial tree. And there's still a few more decorations that need to go on it, which I've ordered, and they are on their way. But I was very restricted, so please don't judge on my decorations because these are the only decorations I actually have left in the house. And at the moment, I really do not have a lot of money to go out and splurge on decorations for ones that will probably end up going to a charity shop or being given away, because I'll probably want totally different next year when I get moved. So yeah, so I'll just do a quick swivel. So 1 second. So there you go. There's the Christmas tree. And I don't know whether you can see that or not. It's very dark. I don't have the lights on it at the moment. And then I have just decorated the mantelpiece as well. So there you go. So that's the lounge. I haven't gone overboard. Sorry, the dog's in the way there. I haven't gone overboard. Excuse me. But I wanted to decorate with it being the last Christmas in this house. Which leads me on to the next piece of life news. I had estate agents round valuing the property. That the first week in January, the house will be going up for sale. I am finally making the decision to move on. I've come to the realisation that I wanted it all to be perfect. I wanted, obviously, once my stepdad passes away, I then get the bungalow. And we have kind of been doing it up little by little when we've had excuse me, when we've had some spare cash between us. We have been very slowly doing it up, and I wanted the ideal world. I have been in a property before where we have totally renovated it, but we've lived in it while we've renovated it, and it's not the most pleasant experience. So I always said I would never ever do that again. So I actually said that this time I wanted, it's actually a bungalow where my stepdad lives. I wanted it to be done and ready to move into. But you've got to live in the real world, haven't you? And I know that wasn't going to happen. So, you know, it may come to it that I might have to live with my stepdad for a little while, until he passes, and that it just is what it is. But I'm ready to move on. This is the only thing now that connects me to what I actually call my old life. This is the only thing now that connects me. And I'm not saying there's memories here of a crap time, because there really isn't. I absolutely love this house. And I'm going to be so sorry to leave it, because I really did think this was going to be my forever home. And I had amazing plans for it. But life being life hasn't worked out that way. And I'm now ready to move on, to make that final cord cutting. So yes, I made the decision, and I made it very quickly. I got in touch with the estate agents very quickly, and they came round this week, valued it, and we have agreed to go with one of them and put it up for sale very early in the new year. So fingers crossed, springtime, as a new cycle is starting in nature. Everything's all starting to come back to life. I'm hoping that I'm also starting to come back to life. So yeah, bring it on. I'm very, very, very extremely excited. So yes, so that's why I've decided to not just stick a tree up with lights on it and not decorate anywhere else. I've done a couple of bits in the craft room and I've put a couple of bits up in the bedroom, but really there's no point in me showing you them because they're very, very minimal. But I've gone above and beyond what I did last year. So yeah, so fingers crossed I will not be in the same position as the last house sale was, and that I will still be here this time next year. I am hoping that by springtime I will be out of here. Fingers crossed. So if anybody wants 3-bedroomed, end of terraced, or if you want to be really snobby, a semi-detached, a huge property. The footprint on this house is massive, and we're on a corner plot, so you've got massive garden, everything. So yeah, if you're looking for a house in the Cleveland area, come give me a shout. So now I've just rambled on about what's gone on this week life-wise. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else? But I don't think there is, other than getting a Christmas tree delivered, decorating it. No, the rest of it has just all been my dad, which you really don't want to know about that. So I don't know whether to kind of leave it there. I mean, we're already sort of 17 minutes in and all I've done is waffle about Christmas, to be honest, and Christmas decorations and selling the house. But like I say, it's my channel. I can talk about what I want. So yeah. So I am going to ask again if you have any advice on dating apps, on the best way you find of dating. Is it still the good old-fashioned way of getting your glad rags on, going to the pub and physically speaking to people? Although going to the pub, stretching it a bit considering I don't drink. Well, there you go. We'll see. But yeah, please let me know. Let's get some interaction going. That's the whole point in YouTube. To get a community going, to get some interaction going, to get to know each other. And yeah, you just, I don't know whether you're not feeling me or you're just coming on just to be nosy to see what I've got to say. I don't know what your reasons are. I don't care what your reasons are. At the end of the day, you're watching me and I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming back week on week, to be fair. I don't think this week I'm actually helping anybody. And I know that Christmas can be a bit of a trigger point for a lot of people, for many reasons. And I really do hope that me chatting on about Christmas hasn't triggered anybody. If it has, I really do apologise. It was not meant to be trigger for anybody, because I totally understand it's really not everybody's cup of tea and it's not everybody's time of year for different reasons, as I say. But if you are one of those people who really don't like Christmas, for whatever your reasons, don't suffer alone. You can contact me here. I'm always willing to lend an ear. I think a couple of videos back, I did put some information regarding charities that can help, like your Samaritans and things like that. I put the contact numbers in the video description, because nobody should go through it alone. And please don't think that you are the only one suffering like that, because you aren't. There are a lot of people, and especially the way life is at the moment, times are hard. You know, we've already got a cost of living crisis that people are struggling. You know, now people have had their heating allowance taken away. My dad has community nurses that go in. I don't know what you call them these days, but he has community nurses that go in once a week to help with a couple of his complaints, health complaints, not just that he complains about nurses. I don't even know why I had to explain that. And he was actually asking one of a couple of the nurses that turned up this week, actually. And he said that already have they seen a difference? And they've said absolutely. They see 1 house in every 5 has its heating on. So 4 people out of 5 are absolutely freezing. And they said that last week when it was very bright days and it was cold and that wind was really cold, and they said these houses were absolutely freezing. I find that it breaks my heart. It really does. It boils my piss and it breaks my heart that people are having to decide whether they eat, whether they pay another bill, whether they put their heating on, when they've obviously already got health issues because they have the community nurses going round to them. So they've obviously already got some kind of health issue, which not having their heating on could quite well add to that. And not only that, it's not really doing your property any good either. And I really, it just really, I don't want to get into politics. I really, really don't. But I just think that really, really is a bar steward's trick. I really, really do. And I think a vast majority of the country will back me on that. You know, these are the people that have paid into our society and paid into our economy for all their working life, and they now shouldn't be having to struggle. You know, retirement should be your golden years. It should be where you can relax, you can chill out. You've worked your backside off all your life. You now should be able to reap the benefits of that. And to be honest, I don't think, like I say, I really don't want to get into politics, but at the end of the day, I think they all have the same agenda. I don't care what party you pick. They've all got the same agenda. They just go about it in different ways. But Labour seem to have been very, very shady, and I know they all do it. They all say they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're not going to stop this, they're not going to stop that. And I know they do it to get the votes in, but then within weeks of being in, you go back on everything that you've said. It's absolutely disgusting. And I really do think, and I have said this for years, I really do think that a bill should be passed that if in your manifesto you say you are going to do this and you are going to do that and you are going to do the other and you are not going to stop this and you are not going to stop that and this won't be affected, that is binding. That is binding, and it should be binding. So when they are making a promise or a pact to the public, that should be legally binding if it's not already. So if it is already, then stick him in the slammer with the other people that have said really bad, nasty words about the country and about him, and he's sent them to jail. Yeah, because that doesn't happen in a real world, does it? You know, everyone seems to be offended about something these days, and unfortunately, I'm not the type of person who sugarcoats anything. So yeah, it just seems to be a case of keep your mouth shut. But then if somebody turns around and says to me, "You've offended me with what you've just said," I'll just say, that's not my issue. That's not my issue. I can't control how you feel. I've said it. I'm not going to apologise for it because that is my belief. If I lose any of my very few subscribers through that, then I apologise. But people have to toughen up. You know, you can't stick people in jail because people are taking a piss out of you because you've got ginger hair. You know, I come from a tougher era. I was born in the 70s. I was brought up in the 80s and 90s where, you know, we still got bullied at school. It's just that it didn't all go on a mobile phone. But it still went on. And because I was a child with ginger hair, I did get picked on because I was different. That's why they pick on you, because you're different. But my nan just used to say, don't take it personally. They're just jealous because you've got gorgeous coloured hair. You're not like everyone else who's mousy or dark or blonde. You're different. And people don't like different people. They don't like people who stand out, who are different. Whereas I do. I like different people. I like the eccentrics. I like the people who are different. I like the people who dress how they want to. That they might have a purple skirt on with a green jumper and a red pair of shoes, and then they might go and put a pink coat on. If it makes you happy, do it. That's what life is all about. It's all about you being happy. You're not put on this earth to please anybody else. Absolutely anybody else. You are here to look after number one first and foremost. We're not meant to be people pleasers. So if somebody turns around and says to you and just say, "I don't like the way you dress," don't change. Just say, "Well, don't look. Don't look. Don't let it bother you. Walk past, shut your eyes, whatever." Never ever change for anybody. And that's why I say at the end of every single video, don't dim your light for anybody. You keep being you. And I will preach that until this channel is no more. I'll preach it till the day I die. You just be you. And if people don't like it, that is a reflection on them, not you. That is a reflection on their shallow mind and their egotism. And we seem to have a lot of people in this world. Wow, we really seem to have gone deep here, don't we? From talking about Christmas trees, we're going very deep. But we do seem to have a lot of people in this world who are very egotistic. Very, very egotistic and very toxic. And thankfully, I've just walked out of a few situations where I have been, I can't say controlled, but I have been dampened by people's characters, by their egos, by their toxicity. And now that I'm away from it, I am a totally different person. But yeah, and always remember that if anybody says anything bad about you, It's always a true reflection on what they think about themselves. Always. So if they don't like the way that you dress, secretly deep down, they don't like the way they dress. But that's probably because they go to shops where everybody else shops. So they see other people in the same clothes as them. They don't have their own identity, because they just follow the sheep and they just wear the same things because it's what they see people wearing, what they see people wearing in celebrity magazines or on TV or in movies. Or find your own way. Seriously, find your own way. Even if it's something that you see the models wearing. For instance, if you're on places like, this is both for men and women, I would say places like Boohoo or ASOS or H&M. And they're just three kind of off the top of my head where the models actually wear something different that you don't see everyday people wearing. And it gives you an idea. And you might go scrolling through looking at these items and you might go, oh my God, I absolutely love that. But oh my God, everyone would just stare at me, or my mum would laugh at me, or whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to find your own identity. You have to find your own way of what you like. Now, I like things that are that little bit quirky, that little bit out there. Yeah, okay, I've got jeans and jumpers and what have you in my wardrobe. I do have very basic, boring clothes. But I also have a few things that I just think are a little bit quirkier than what you find the normal people wearing. And I like that. And if people look at me, that's a judgment on them, not me. So yeah, just remember that when people make comments to put you down, it's a reflection. A lot of it is a reflection on their own thoughts about themselves. It's just their way of venting, if you will. And it's definitely a reflection on them that they would rather hurt somebody else's feelings than deal with their own feelings. And I really do think there are a lot of people in this world who need to sit down, they need to look in the mirror, and they need to give themselves good talking to, and they need to look deep within themselves and sort themselves out. I really, really do. I get it. There are a lot of egotistical people out there. A lot of them are in, I get it with sort of performers, actors, singers, musicians. I get it. I get it with them. But with just normal day-to-day people who work in an office, for example, because that's where I've experienced it, who think that they are better than everybody else and let everybody else know it, abuse their positions, and because they are in a very happy period of their own lives, bring everybody else down around them rather than bringing themselves up to everybody else's level, because they're scared. They're scared of going inwards and learning what it is in them that's made them so unhappy. And I've done that over the past 3 years, and I am very proud of who I am today. Very, very proud. So I think we will leave that there for now. So we haven't discussed the topic that I was going to pick, So we'll probably save that for next week unless there's any more live updates. I've now got 2 weeks of getting my orders done and out in the post to my lovely, amazing clients. And if any of my clients are watching this, thank you so much for your support over the past 5 years or so. You've been absolutely amazing. And I look forward to another 5 or 6 years dealing with you all. So yes, I've got 2 weeks now of getting the rest of my Christmas card orders done, dusted, in the post, get my own Christmas cards made, written in the post. And then I have 3 weeks to get this property freshened up and sorted, ready for going up for sale round about the 6th of January. So yeah, exciting times. It's going to be a busy few weeks. So I will probably take my Christmas holidays in January once it's gone up, because then all I've got to deal with is viewings. And with having Chester, I have opted for the estate agent to do the viewings on my behalf, and I will then go and take Chester for a walk, or if it's absolutely throwing it down, go and sit in the car while they do a viewing. Because me and Chester are very fair weather walkers. Because going out for missing one walk isn't going to kill any dog. And the amount of people that I see walking past here, because I've got big bay windows that look out onto the street, and the amount of people that I see walking past, it's absolutely hammering it down. And that poor dog does not look happy that it's out on a walk in the wind, in the rain. And the owner doesn't look happy that it's out in the wind and the rain, getting piss wet through. So, sorry, bit of a swear word there in case there's any under 18s watching. Do apologise. Yeah, and I just think why? Your dog's not going to die just because you've not walked it for one day. So yeah, we're very fair weather walkers, I'm afraid. So I will stop waffling now, and I will say thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video or not, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not here to people please. We've just covered that in this video. I'm not here to people please. I will talk about what I want to talk about. And if you don't like it, then you just switch off. End of. I'm not here to make millions on this channel. I'm not even bothered if it doesn't get monetized. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing this to try and help people, maybe give some advice. If somebody's going through similar to what I'm going through, you know, somebody might just pick up a little pearl of wisdom. Or if somebody interacts with me, they might leave me a little pearl of wisdom, which would be absolutely amazing. So please, let's get some interaction going. Please leave me some comments on dating. Give me some comments on what you do for Christmas, on what you've got planned for Christmas, whether you enjoy Christmas, whether you hate Christmas, whether you are a bar humbugger. Yeah, let's just get some interaction going. Let's just make this a really lovely community. That's all I ask. So if you've liked this video, like I say, or not, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'm not bothered either way. And if you like the content that I do, then please do consider subscribing. It makes YouTube happy and it makes me even happier. And you know, just share it, tell your friends and family about it. And yeah, you know, let's get connected with some more lovely people just like you. And I'll see you next week. Don't dim your light for anybody, as we've just been discussing. Never ever dim your light for anybody. Take care. Look after yourselves. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye, my lovelies.